What is up, everyone? Conixis here, and welcome back to Shining Song Starnova. And as you remember, last time we were on the Aki route, and we found out a little bit about her past. Apparently, that Oda guy was her old producer, and from the way Aki reacted to him, I don't think he was pretty good to her, because holy crap, she was terrified of that man, and she was mad at her mom for even inviting him in, and apparently he's trying to sign her on with Golden Calf because of the whole, oh yeah, we got rid of Haruka, so now we gotta get back a good talent. Aki's in the rise recently, let's bring her back. Those dirty bums, nah. Aki's on our side. Fuck off! Anyways, but yeah, so pretty much Aki's just going through this little bit of trouble. And if I were to guess, if Aki does get on with Golden Calf and replaces Haruka, then Haruka might try to kill Aki just because of the whole, mess. But who knows what'll happen? Let's see. Let's hope nothing bad. The following day, Aki returned to the office, apparently back to her usual self. After the other girls left for the day, I heard her poke her head into my office, as usual. Sorry, but I think I'll head straight home today. Oh. Hey, we still haven't talked about what happened yet. Forget about that! What was I thinking, trying to start some secret romance with my producer? It looks like I totally tricked you. Sorry, but I was just a shitlolly doing shitlolly things all along. Oh, that's kind of weird when you call yourself the shitlolly. It doesn't have the impact when other people randomly say it. God damn it, but no, my girl. Like, oddly enough, throughout your story so far, I'm actually starting to like you a lot more. Like, you've moved high up on the tier list, to be completely honest. Like, the tier list, I don't remember what it was before, but now the tier list is kinda, you might be at the top. I like you a lot, Aki, so please, I don't want you to be sad. Tell me what's wrong. I was just trying to get closer to you for benefits, that's all, but looks like I messed up and now everything's being exposed. I pounded my desk in anger. Don't bullshit me. It's obvious that's not what's happening. You're in pain, aren't you? You can't just tell me to ignore your suffering. Idiot. If you keep thinking like that, it's only a matter of time until someone takes advantage of your kindness. I'm sorry if this comes as a surprise, but I was that kind of two-faced idol all along. Did you seriously think I was some tiny little girl you needed to protect? Don't make me laugh. I was just playing that role to mess with your head. Everything about me is just one big lie. See, I know you're lying right now. That's the thing. I want to help you, Aki. I feel bad for you. Even though you're an adult technically, it's like I feel bad that everybody pressures you like this. Like, your mom's being a bitch. That old guy don't know what he did, but he's a bitch. And it just seems like you want to be normal. Like, I don't remember what part it was, but a long time ago in the story, it seemed like she didn't want to do something with the idol thing again. Like, she seemed to be freaking out or something. I think, I don't remember. It was, what? I don't remember what, I think it was either in Julie's story or it was, I don't remember. Was it in Julie's story that she was freaking out because of something? I think so. But yeah, damn. Everything about me is just one big lie. Sorry, Oni-chan, but I was just trying to take advantage of you. Listen, why don't you tell me what's wrong? Let me help you. Don't get any close to me. I can handle myself. With that, Aki turned around and slammed the door behind her before I could say another word. It was obvious she was in trouble. She could laugh off her troubles as just more of her faux loli act, but I knew that deep down within, Aki there was a great instability. Oh boy. Sorry about that, my dog is making noise. There was no way a normal girl would act the way she did. Just what had happened to her to make her this way? If only she would open up to me. But in the end, I was only her producer. I wasn't her father, nor her lover. As a matter of fact, the only correct thing for me to do in this situation was to approach everything with a professional detachment. I wasn't here to help Aki overcome her past, or to heal her mental wounds. All I could do was work hard to make her into an idol. If If only I could do more. Oh boy. Oh, we're back at the Viva set. What's this all about? Oh yeah, the recording with the 5 idols. I just remembered that. In the end, I never got to speak to Aki much after that. She just returned to her regular routine of giggling along with the other girls and acting cute for the cameras. For all intents and purposes, it was like she had forgotten entirely about what had happened that night. It seriously reminded me of how, in high school, the girls I hung out with seemed to have entirely selected memories and could only recall things they wanted to. But on that same train of thought, I guess Aki was still at that age. Despite her jaded attitude, she was still emotionally a teenage girl. I had to sympathize with her. She was still just a kid, thrown unwittingly into a harsh adult world. No doubt all of this was even more terrifying and confusing for Aki than it was for me. Look, I was a grown man, and I still feared every waking moment about what other human beings could do to me in this line of work. I couldn't even imagine what that fear must be like for a small girl like Aki. I stood behind the stage as the girls got into position on the set of the talk show. The girls bowed in unison when Tanaka-san finally made his appearance. That guy was the stuff of legend, you know. He started hosting this talk show back when he was my age, back in the 1980s, and has been appearing on television screens across the country ever since. I shelved my apprehension about Aki and turned my focus back to the task at hand. This was the pivotal moment for the girls. I couldn't afford to have my head in the clouds. Appearing on such a prestigious talk show would no doubt have a huge impact on our popularity. Not to mention, with Quasar's scandal, there were now millions of people looking to back a new, a fresh idol group. No doubt, this was our decisive moment. Oh boy, are we gonna fuck it up is the question. Hopefully not, because these girls need the break. A few minutes before the shoot began, I motioned to Aki to come and meet me. Something the matter, producer? Just doing my due diligence. Are you feeling alright? I hope you're not thinking that I would mess this up this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. There's no way something like that would happen. Alright, but you know, if you're feeling dizzy or anything, just give the signal for one of the other girls to take over. Have faith in your teammates. More of that nonsense again? That little episode was basically a 1 in a million stroke of bad luck. Have some faith in your center, producer. I checked Aki's complexion with security. She seemed right in that her body didn't look distressed like the night she collapsed. Alright, good luck. Once producer finishes oogling Aki-chan's body, we can begin the shoot. I threw my hands up in surrender and allowed Aki to return to the seat. Did producer-san have concerns? Oh god, it's too early. My voice hasn't gotten to making light voices yet. Nah, just doing his due diligence. Huh? This is certainly a big moment for Starnova, isn't it? It makes sense that he will want to pay extra attention to Aki-chan's appearance tonight. After all, she must look as appealing as possible if Starnova's charm is to carry through the camera lens and into the audience's television screens. It must be nice to be the center, huh? Being fawned over by the producer all the time. I see. It really is hard, eh? Translating your appeal over to the television screen? Seeing the real deal is totally different from seeing the stuff on the tube. Gotta do my very best to make sure to look good for the camera. Oh, looks like we're about to begin. Let's kick ass, everyone. Oh boy. Back at Quasar. Oh boy. Meanwhile, most of the membership of Quasar were gathered around the television screen, carefully watching the live broadcast of the show. Some of the girls watched with anger in their eyes. How could these girls have taken advantage of their monetary weakness to steal their television appearance? Others looked with tears. Their beautiful units that they had sacrificed everything for, taken a grave hit. Now, even these upstarts were challenging them. How would Shield-sama feel? She who had suffered the most for everyone's sakes. Kaori watched on, her teeth clenched. Beside her, Mako seemed to be the only girl in the room, seemingly unaffected by the show. They're actually quite good. The girls of Starnova, at least on paper, seem to be on good terms with each other. Not only that, but the girls have a unique charm about them. Not to mention, the public will be drawn to their sympathetic backstory of how a bunch of bottom-tier idols got together to make a unit, and then somehow became popular. What is it, Karichi? Tears line Kari's eyes as she watched the girls of Starnova on the television screen. She had expected them to be nothing but upstarts, just a bunch of incompetent idol failures who would happen to get lucky once. But actually seeing them, their faces looked so pretty, especially their center, Kashiwagiaki, who had miraculously retained the innocent, noble body of a child, whilst now possessing the hidden sexuality of a grown woman. And now they casually laughed among each other like sisters. They were better than pros. They were naturals. I don't know how to put this, but it's incredibly frustrating. It feels like we're already in second place. We've been training since we were little kids to become Quasars, but then out of nowhere these girls show up and took our television appearance. What did they do to deserve such a thing? The other girls murmured their agreement. Well, I'm sure we will have a chance at revenge soon enough. It is only inevitable. Quasar and Starnova are on a collision course. It won't lose to them! Oh yeah? How rare is it for Karichi to get so fired up? Come on, everyone. Quasar still got fans left. Just because these girls got the spotlight today doesn't mean they're anywhere as good as us. We've been training day and night. We've given up our friends, our family, our girlhoods, all to become part of the greatest idol unit in the world. Let's show our fans that no matter what, all the other stars in the galaxy still revolve around Quasar. Understood. Karichi, what a splendid front row girl you become. Well, you're the one who said you're on the bad team, so that's kind of what happens. You got your comeuppance. God damn it. After the conclusion of the broadcast, Mako slipped out of the cafeteria to find Shiro up on the rooftop by herself. Oh yeah. I don't know if she's saying oh yeah or oh yeah. Oh yeah, I figured I'd find our Empress here. Shiro took her cigarette out of her mouth and turned to face her new second-in-command. Oh, it looks like you've already discovered my little black secret. Are you going to report me to the staff? Maybe they might demote me and make you the center. No, I would not adventure such a thing. Really? Congratulations on advancing your rank, second in command of the greatest idol unit in the nation, and only at the age of 13. It's been quite some time since someone's managed to pull that off, hasn't it? You truly flatter me. I owe it all to merely my family's connections. That's how this industry operates, doesn't it? I suppose so. In any matter, my rank only exists on paper. Until the Vans vote in their preferences, my place in our little pecking order seems rather precarious indeed. Well, I'm sure you'll do splendidly. The fans will want to cheer on a 13-year-old trying to leave her mark on the world after all. Mako stared into the cityscape. I wonder. Huh. Still, it must be nice to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Shiro-sama was not so fortunate. My parents were broke, so I decided to become a teen model because it was the only way I could do at my age for the kind of pay I wanted. And from there, Shiro raised her arms, demonstrating where that path had led her in the end. A single gesture encapsulating an incredible journey of unlikely survival, inhuman persistence, and dark scheming. I see. My condolences. Well, it just couldn't be helped, you know. You can't expect the world to hand you anything on a silver platter. My father was a baseball star for the Giants, while my mother was a ballerina. You could say from the moment I was born, I was groomed to become a celebrity, as well, indeed. Perhaps it would be accurate to say I was bred for stardom. I have been fortunate enough to be without want my whole life. And thanks to my parents' influence, I was allowed to become a Quasar without ever having been through the trainee program. Do you resent me? Will you make an example of me? I am, after all, the epitome of everything you desire. No. Shio smiled grandly. In the end, we will each have our respective eras, but those two eras will never intersect. As long as you understand that, I think we'll get along grandly. After all, it would be hypocritical of me to resent the rich at this stage. I am, after all, the highest paid woman in the Japanese entertainment business, after all. And I suppose we have an understanding. So we do, my cute Kohai. How glad I am that my second-in-command is such a precious little thing. What a breath of fresh air it is. Then, I will try not to disgrace my image, One-sama. Oh boy. Oh boy, it's him. Meanwhile, Kamijo typed furiously into his work computer. The recent scandal had caused a mass of lawsuits and cancellations for his company. While it wasn't enough to bring down the mighty fortress which had built during his tenure as Golden Calf's de facto CEO, he would have to restore the confidence of the board of directors soon, before a certain demon which had lurked within the dark recesses of the company used the chaos to undo all that had accomplished. As if that very demon could read his thoughts, Oda walked out of the elevator into Kamijo's office.
Oh, working hard there, I see.
Kamijo looked up from his monitor, his lips barely forming a smile.
Oda-san, is there something I can assist you with? No. In fact, I came here to ask if you needed my help. It is such a difficult thing, operating a company at such a young age. You see, your father always relied on me as well. Those really were the days of my life. Perhaps I can help you lift some of that weight off your shoulders.
Kamijo spared not a smile at Oda's thinly veiled threat.
I'm afraid the girls of this era only respond to men they can fantasize about in their girlish delusions. They're quite a far cry from the domesticated girls of the Enka era who mindlessly heeded the authority of their elders. You could say that the times have changed, old man!
God damn it!
Oh, I don't know about that. This old man still has some vigor in him yet. Maybe I can show off some of my moves. What do you call it? The final... Merely a nonsensical rumor spread among the girls in the locker rooms. It must be nice to be surrounded with beautiful women day and night, and at the very height of your masculine powers. Prowess, my bad. This old man truly was born in the wrong time indeed. Well, never too late. The body may weaken, but this mind has not aged a year since I had a head of jet black hair. The young master best tighten the chains around his belongings. How unfortunate it would be if his pretty little jewels were taken away.
With that, Kamijo pushed up his glasses and resumed working. Oda's face curled into a sneer, relishing every moment of Kamijo's writhing. Oh boy, he opened his eyes.
That's the face, boy. That's the face it takes to make it out alive of this misery. This miserable thing called existence.
This is a creepy old man. This is a creepy old man. Get the hell out of here. Back to us. Like a dream, the memory of my strange night with Aki faded, and our relationship returned back to how it was before she started spending the evenings at my apartment. Indeed, she had stopped poking her head into my office after work every night and was now heading home or hanging out with the other girls. In other words, normalcy had returned to Shining Productions, at least where my relationship with Aki were concerned. However, I still felt strange, kind of regret in my gut, as if I had missed out on something really great. In the end, I was still a guy. It would have been nice if I really could have kissed Aki that night, I would have to be absolutely crazy not to feel some kind of disappointment at her now giving me the cold shoulder, as if she had been playing around with my feelings all this time. That's what I'm saying. Like, she made me like her somewhat. Like, I think I like hockey because of all the little jokes, but she thinks logically, and she's like so mature for how she looks, and it's scary. And it's like, I don't know. I have to see her in another CG to judge her height, because if she's not too short, then it won't feel odd. But if she's as small as it made her look when she was on his lap, then it's like, nah, I'm good. God damn it. Like, yeah, she seems like a nice person, and she just seems like she just wants some kind of normalcy in her life. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I feel bad for her. Like, I feel like that badness in my gut, because I know, like, there's some problems going on at home, but there's nothing we know in depth. All we know is her mom is probably just a big bitch. Anyways, where... Oh yeah, playing around, I read all that. Okay. It really did feel like I had been tricked. After all those provocations, Aki was now treating me like she was never interested in me from the very beginning. In the end, though, I had to swallow those feelings. I swore to myself I would never become one of those creepy producers who use their position to take advantage of their talent. If Aki really wanted to break off her personal feelings from me, then my responsibility was too good. Was to be a good producer to her and nothing more. I like how he was interested in actually going with Aki, but Julie, he's like, no, I'm your producer. Get those feelings away from me. God damn it. I guess because we actually spent time and it wasn't just an out of the nowhere thing. So, and he even said as he spent time with Aki, he got to like her more. And, like, I understand. Like, she seems like an alright person. And they're playing around every now and then isn't so bad once you get used to it. But, I don't know. When she's being fake normally before we got to know her, it was like, go away. Moreover, it wasn't like it was the end of the world. Starnova was doing better than ever, and our profits were on the rise indeed. As shining production producer, you could say it felt like I was on top of the world despite everything. As if to highlight our rise in fortune, I had received good news from our partners at Soma Music. Thanks to our appearance on Tanaka's talk show, our popularity had received a sizable spike. It really seemed that we had the chance of winning big at this year's Idol Grand Prix. To that end, we were going to hold a summer live at Budokan to rally our fans before the Grand Prix. Budokan, huh? This really was going to be the largest live we've ever had. If we managed to sell out the house, then we really could rival Quasar. No. Now that we've come this far, I couldn't approach the matter as what if. It was a matter of must. Starnova had to be Quasar. As expected, the girls reacted with joy at hearing the news. Budokan? Alright! Oh god. Alive at such a prestigious venue. Not bad, producer. At last, our time has arrived. It's really amazing news, isn't it? The live's going to be held June 8th. Just 2 months before the Grand Prix. We will really need to hit this one out of the park to show off the strength of our candidacy this year. Rallying our fans right before we start our march to Odaiba. Looks like you've got the right idea, producer. Alright everyone, this is pretty self-evident, but this Budokan Live is a must-win for us. We are gonna have to sell out the house, you hear? Oh boy. Hey, wait. Did you say June 8th? Yeah, is there any issue with that day? An issue? Oh, producer! Did you forget that's literally a week after Quasar's live at Budokan's... it's literally a week after Quasar's live at Budokan special. No way. So we're going to be performing just 1 week after Quasar? And at the same venue, no less. A direct competition, huh? With all the conditions identical, people will be able to compare the two lives and decide which idol group's better, even before the Grand Prix has even begun. Oi, This kind of coincidence is too suspicious, you know. Someone music probably set this up just to throw a pie into Golden Calf's face. That's just the kind of underhand marketing tactic you see from huge corporations. Oh, come on, Maria. We don't know that for sure. I mean, that is kind of convenient, like 1 week after. Come on, man. Oh, God. Hang on. Anyways, it was only inevitable. We're going to have to take on Quasar, one way or another. If we're really going to take the #1 spot at the Grand Prix, this will be a good opportunity for the two sides to gauge each other's strengths. As Suzu said, knowing your enemy is over half the battle. My point exactly. I say bring on the fight. We're gonna do it, aren't we? We're gonna fight Quasar and win. That was our game plan all along. Oh, sometimes the only way to settle your differences is to meet behind the shed and rumble. With Quasar's power weakened, now's the perfect opportunity to make our move. Let's show these hoes just what real idol units can do. Everyone? Then I'll do my best to. I guess in the end, you just gotta do it. Listen up, everyone. Oh, that was backwards, but hey. You might think, oh God, my voice. It's too early, so it doesn't have the lightness it needs. You might think Quasar has been weakened because of the sex scandal, but that's not the case at all. What do you mean? Just whose side are you rooting for here? Can you just shut it for 1 second and listen? The center of Quasar, Shiro, will be an unbelievably tough opponent. Her stats alone are higher than all ours put together. She's betrayed everyone and done unbelievable things to become the center of Quasar. She's an enemy who will fight without a regard for her own safety, all for the sake of her victory. If she's still the center of Quasar, we need to be prepared to fight with our lives on the line, literally. Honestly, Akita was Shiro's rival all along. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if it turns out that Shiro had her hand in her sex tape leaking in the first place. Her rival's fall most likely has only made her position stronger, so it was what Shiro wanted all along. That's why we can't approach this like we usually do. It's going to be a life or death from now on. Oh boy. Oh, as expected of One-sama, bring us such good intel from behind the enemy lines. One-sama's words are exactly right. From this point on, it's going to be hell, scorched earth. Even though I wasn't a member of Quasar like One-sama, I was a Golden Calf talent too for a long time. And I can confidently say this, the way they drill idols is totally different from here. They make you dance until you puke. They snap you out of your will until you're nothing more than a slave to the corporation. And you know what? You take all of that with a smile on your face because Golden Calf has both power and the money to catapult you to the very heights of stardom. Listen up, ladies. That's the kind of enemy we're dealing with here. If we're gonna face them and win, we're gonna have to work like we've never worked before. I'm talking about practices around the clock, handshake events after every weekly theater performance, all the while performing our scheduled jobs. You're gonna have to lay down your minds and bodies to this task. But this is our chance, you know? The best shot we'll ever have to beat Quasar and show all of Tokyo that there's a new idol unit in town. Let's do it. Let's make our Budokan the first of Starnova's greatest lives. Oh boy. Looks like our drill sergeant Loli's really fired up. Natan's raring to go, full power. We'll finally do it. We'll overcome Quasar. Indeed, the writing is all but on the wall. Quasar's time is fading. It wouldn't be right to give nothing but our fair. Oh yeah. Hold on, I need to get some water. My voice is my voice. God damn it. All right, let's see if the water helps. It wouldn't be. Kinda, not a lot, but kinda. It wouldn't be right to give nothing but our all for Starnova. After all, we owe each other and producer song that much, don't we? Oh God, it's cutting out every now and then, but it's getting there. It is so. Let our black song echo eternal through the halls of Budokan. Everyone, has your center? Let's light up the world and turn night into day. Oh boy, let me get some more. Maybe it'll help. Okay, let's see. And so, the girls of Starnova practice around the clock. I looked on with both pride and anxiety as the girls practiced until the clock hit 11 every night. This kind of training regimen was unreasonable. I couldn't condone it as a producer. Yet the girls appeared of their own volition and wouldn't leave until they exhausted their bodies. Despite limping off the dance studio every night, their bodies no doubt aching, all of the girls returned the very next evening to repeat their brutal training. On top of that, the girls blew the roof off the house every weekend at what had now become their theater. Despite working around the clock, the girls performed their weekly shows flawlessly, nothing but smiles on their faces. No doubt they must have been suffering, they must have been exhausted, but they still sang and danced nevertheless. After each theater performance, the girls held handshaking events for the fans. I watched on as the 7 girls of Starnova all made their personal appeals to the fans who had come to cheer them on. Please, I ask of you with all my heart, please support our candidacy for the Idol Grand Prix. Yahoo! You better come cheer for Natan at the Budokan Live, okay? By the powers of my scarlet mark, come cheer for Starnova at Odaiba this summer. I'll do my best, so please lend us your power. Quasar? Come on, Starnova's much better, aren't we? There's no way those girls care about their fans. I'll do it. I'll finally overcome what happened. Please, help me on this journey to overcome my past. Meanwhile, a bespectacled young man approached Aki's table. Aki-chan, do you remember me? Junpei Oni-chan, of course your Emoto idol Aki remembers you. Yeah, you're always the first person to favor all my chirps. Thank you so much for your support. Oh god. Of course, I'll always be Aki-chan's supporter. But you know, please do not push yourself too far. What's Oni-chan mean? We know the difficult it must be to be an idol for so long. But you know, even if you grow up one day, we'll all still be here for you. Even if you aren't our Emoto idol no more, you're already done so much for us. Please do not overdo it and hurt yourself. Not for our sake. We can never live with it if Aki-chan got hurt because of us. Aki looked down momentarily at a loss for words, but in the next instant she had already swallowed her tears and faced the man with nothing but a radiant smile. Oni-chan's such a nice person, isn't he? Thank you so much. Please support Starnova at the Idol Grand Prix this year as well, too, okay? My voice is dying. Of course! I hit the wheel. And so the girls' trials continued day by day. It was grueling to have watched their suffering, their perseverance. In some part of my mind, I wish I was young again, and I too could train and work alongside them. Maybe if I could share in their pain, these hard-working girls wouldn't have to bear everything by themselves. But I knew all I could do as their producer was fight behind the scenes. Alright, this idol producer had to play his part too. Even though I couldn't sing and dance on stage with the girls, there was still much I had to do. There was promotional work to be done, deals to be made, support staff to be hired. I was going to go all out too. It's May 24th, we're at a photo shoot from the looks of it. Before anyone knew it, an entire month had passed. Aki found herself on the stage of a photo shoot surrounded by busy staff members. Strangely enough, producer had texted her earlier, informing her that he was running behind schedule, but that she could commence the shoot without him. Well, I guess even that straight-laced producer can mess up from time to time, too. In any matter, the shoot was a rather simple affair. All she had to do was smile while holding some piece of chocolate for a confectionery company. Aki was confident she was able to handle things herself. She informed the set director that she was all ready and began the shoot. As expected, the shoot concluded without any problems. By now, such jobs were but routine affairs for Aki. But I still wonder just what's holding the producer for so long. How unusual for him to be unreliable like this. Oh well, it's not like I really needed him for the shoot this simple. Aki went over to the set director and wished him well before turning to leave the studio. But just as she was about to leave, a shadow descended on her. Huh? I had a feeling this fuck would be here, god damn it!
Good day, Aki-chan.
Aki gasped and spun around to come face to face with Oda. What are you doing here?
Oh, is that any way to greet your former producer? I merely happened to have business in this building and decided to say hello to my precious former talent. It is merely a coincidence. A coincidence, really.
Really? Aki gulped down and looked down at her shoes. Oh boy. It was always like this. Whenever this man appeared, her body froze in terror. She was utterly helpless all the time. Oh boy, he's opening his eyes.
But you really have been doing well lately, haven't you? I hear that you plan to challenge Shiro-sama herself for the title of #1 idol in the nation. Haven't you grown into quite the rebellious little woman? Such a shame things turned out this way. Such a shame. But it doesn't have to be like this. Have you given my offer a thought? Power is moving fast, and Golden Calf, you could say that the end of an era is fast approaching. Say the word and I can give you what you always wanted. Oh my little Aki-chan, why walk this difficult path?
It's not worth it if you get handed everything. You gotta work for what you want.
When your former producer can make you into the center. Yes, the center of the greatest idol unit in the nation.
But then her fans would hate her because she jumped ships. Like, if she jumped to Quasar, fucking hell, her fans would hate the shit out of her. Do you understand that? I'm pretty sure that's either the plan or he just stupid. But my guess is that might be the plan to make her downfall, because if you jump ships to the rival team just like that, you're gonna just be seen as a traitor and an ass.
Quasar itself could be yours. All you have to do is say yes and become my little girl again.
That doesn't sound good. I approached Oda from behind and stood in front of Aki. I apologize for my late arrival, Oda-san, but I'm afraid that Kashiwagi-san is currently signed on as Shining Productions talent. Until her contract with Shining is terminated, she is, of course, forbidden from signing with a different talent agency.
Excuse my forwardness,
Nishimiya. Nishiyama. God damn it. From Shining Productions.
Yes. I was in your shoes once, raising Aki here into a star idol that she is today. Forgive our silly little talks. I'm afraid our prior relationship was rather informal one. I presume you are more than aware of Aki-chan's playful antics. Our discussion is merely just one of our silly little skits.
I see. Well, I cannot imagine that a reputable executive at Golden Cap Productions like yourself would stoop to scouting another talent company worker in broad daylight like this.
Aki-chan always has been such a gift. Then I will not occupy your talent's attention any further. A pleasure meeting you, Producer-san.
The pleasure is all mine. With that, Oda left the set. The two of us let out a sigh of relief as soon as the old man disappeared. Sorry, looks like I was almost too late. Seriously, what's that old geezer doing? Trying to sign you on with Golden Calf when you're obviously Starnova Center?
Sorry.
So that's your former producer, huh? Oda, I've heard rumors about him. He's supposed to be pretty high up on Golden Calf's chain of command. He's got the Buddha face, but the devil's eye. Yeah, he has the Buddha's face, but the devil's heart. He's the most dangerous man in the entire idol business. Now that he knows who you are, your very life is in danger, you know? Look, I'm sure you're exaggerating. I've heard a lot of unbelievable things in this line of work, but never once in my life have I heard of a producer being snuffed by a rival talent agency. If there's gonna be a first time for that, then he would be the guy to do it! Anyways, I'm sorry I wasn't here to prevent that. Keeping you from being hassled by other producers is my job. I let you down today. No. But your popularity really has grown, hasn't it? For you to be approached like this, right under my nose, this really is a dog-eat-dog business. Actually, is something the matter? Nothing. It's really unbelievable for those Golden Cap people to think I would ever consider joining Quasar. Don't they understand that I'm a Nova? If I betray everyone and join our rival group, then my popularity would tank, and that's exactly what I just said. If you jump ships like that, people will hate you because you not only left your group, but you joined the rival group. And people are automatically going to know, oh, she did it for the popularity because they're the #1 idol group in Japan. So yeah, like, that'd be dumb. That'd be dumb. You're not going to become top idol. You're going to just be hated. You've got that right. Anyways, I'll make sure you don't get bothered by other recruiters from now on. That sort of thing is a given for any big-name talent. Yeah. I drove Aki back to the office after that. It's already pretty late. Are you going to go home? No. I hardly got any practice done today. I'm going to go downstairs and go through my routine again. I see. Make sure not to overdo it, okay? It's true that practice makes perfect, but if you push your body too far, then it's only a matter of time until you injure yourself. And that's something we absolutely don't want. Don't worry, my body is still young and healthy. Solo training is no problem. Alright, I'll be working here until pretty late. I'll see you in the morning. See you. Oh boy. Early morning. Is she still here, or did she pass out downstairs? Because that'd be my guess. By the time I decided to call it quits for the night, it was already 2 a.m. Man, I was really putting in overtime lately. But I had to do this. All the girls were counting on me. If I didn't do my part to support them, then I would be spitting in the face of their hard work. Exhausted sigh, I grabbed my coat and left the office. I went downstairs. I was surprised to see the lights still on in the dance studio. Did Aki forget to turn the lights off before she left? How uncharacteristic of her. I went to the studio to turn the lights off only to see Aki slouched down against the wall, her eyes closed. Boy, what is she still doing here? I rushed over and shook her awake. Aki! Aki, are you alright? To my relief, Aki opened her eyes, looking merely surprised. Oh, producer! Looks like I fell asleep while taking a break. With that, Aki pulled herself back up and returned to the center of the dance stage as if she intended to resume practice. Oh, Jesus! Her legs swayed as she nearly tumbled down to the floor. I grabbed her and held her up. What are you doing? You're obviously exhausted. My foot was just asleep. That's all. Besides, this level of training's not anything unusual for someone who wants to be a top idol. You idiot! At this rate, you're going to injure yourself. Go home for tonight and get a good night's sleep. That's an order as your producer. I don't want to. Why do you have to push yourself this far? Aki pushed herself away from me. Because I know it's not easy. I thought I was going to be a star, and I would finally make everyone around me happy. But you know what? I failed. I let my teammates down. I let my family down. I couldn't accomplish anything as a teen idol, and now here I am, years later, as a grown woman, still pretending to be a stupid kid. It's laughable, isn't it? Go ahead and laugh at me. I'm just an idiot clinging on to my failure of a past because it's the only thing I have left. Unless I win, people are gonna be upset, you know. Everyone works so hard expecting me to lead them to the top. If I fail here, everyone will yell at me again. They'll think I'm nothing, just a loudmouth who talks big but can't do anything but fail. I hate that. I hate that the most of all. Oh, fuck no. I'll do anything to win. Anything at all. Because I just can't fail again. Not again. Lucky looked down, her tears dripping onto the floor of the dance studio. I looked at her at a loss for words. Sorry. I said too much. No. Even though, as a producer, I'll probably never be able to fully understand your emotions, I'll do my best to fulfill your dreams. I'm tired. Producer? Aki's eyes suddenly lost focus, and her knees wobbled. Aki! I rushed over and held her in my arms. Are you alright? It's nice to be held, Aki. Mama's never once held me like this. Oi, stay with me here. You're not making sense. Take me home with you, producer. Keep protecting me. With that, Aki closed her eyes, her exhaustion finally claiming victory. She looked so peaceful, cradled in my arms, that I didn't have the heart to let her go. I knew now. Despite her best efforts to portray herself as a calculating two-faced pro-idol, Aki was still just a nervous girl thrust into the dangerous world way too early. A girl her age should be in school, getting trained for the difficulties of the adult life, and yet, here she was, struggling to survive in the kangaroo court of the people's opinion. I had to look after her. If nobody else in this world was going to protect her, then I had to. I had to keep this girl safe. I may be wrong to think that this is Aki's producer. Such feelings were not only highly unprofessional, but a betrayal of my duties to the company. But I just couldn't bear to see her cry again. Aki was already scarred by her past. I cannot become another one of those scars. With that, I carried Aki into my car and drove her to my apartment. Oh boy, I carried Aki to my apartment in my arms, thanks to her small stature. She was almost unbelievably light. This almost felt like I was carrying a newly-wed wife into our honeymoon, didn't it? But I swallowed those feelings down. Considering the situation, I couldn't afford to be swept away by the hormones right now. I carried Aki to the bedroom and put her down on my bed. Looks like I'll be sleeping on the sofa tonight. Before I could leave, I felt Aki cling on to the sleeve of my shirt. Don't leave, Aki. She's so tiny. Well, she's not. Well, from like the looks of this, she doesn't look too tiny. But I don't know. She's still a small girl. She needs to be protected. And here I thought she was fast asleep. Something the matter? I want you near. But Aki slightly opened her eyes. It's all right. Hey, producer. I'm so tired. I know. You've been training harder than any of the girls. Your body really must be exhausted. I don't mean that. See, like, that works because she's disagreeing, but Julie said, I don't know. For as long as I can remember. I've been convincing myself I can do it, that I can really become a top idol. But it's hard, you know? We're not anywhere near the top. We're not even in second place, in fact. We're not in third, fourth, fifth, or sixth place either. We're just another idol group in a pool of 1,000 other groups trying to reach the top. Every day, dozens of idol groups fail and disband, while dozens more rise up to the challenge us. In the end, we're not anything special. Every time I shout I'm gonna be number one, it's so exhausting. For a failure like me, it takes everything in me to be able to say those words. And all I want to say is that I'm a failure, that I'm not cut out to be an idol, that I'll just disappoint everyone. I'm so scared that one day people will realize that I've been lying all this time. I'm not cut out to be the center. I'm not even cut out to be an idol. I've just been pretending all this time that I'm destined for something big, but I'm not like but I'm just like a Pied Piper. I'm just like, what? When others realize I'm just a fake, what'll happen to me? It scares me so much. Aki. Right now, I'm so scared that I want to give up. I mean, she looks blissful. She's so precious. Give her the good old head pats, my dude. God damn it. Producer, I just want to be spoiled and taken care of. I don't want to have to fight anymore. I don't want to have to run in the rat race to the top. Take care of me. I'll make you happy, I promise. Please, don't make me fight again. I don't want it. I put my hand on Aki. Maybe adult society is merely a lifetime of convincing others that we're not as incompetent as we actually are. But I think you really are special. I'm sorry if this sounds in poor taste, but people just are not equal. There are some people who are worth thousands, tens of thousands of lesser men. I think you, too, can be one of the people who have greater impact on the world than 1,000 others combined. Sorry, I'm not going to let you give up that easily. You're not a kid anymore. You have responsibilities now. Duty to your friends, to your job, to your fans. Even if I let you kiss me right now? Even then. Besides, a relationship's not going to last very long if it's just based on wanting to escape from reality. You really are nothing but a producer to the core. Hockey. I believe in you. I think you're going to accomplish great things. I see. Then I'll keep on fighting. Yeah. I pulled the blanket on top of her. If producer's by my side, maybe, just maybe, I'll finally become the number one. With that, Aki's eyes closed and she drifted off to sleep. As I left the bedside, I felt immense pride in my chest. This was my Aki-chan. Even though every day she was suffering, she did her best for everyone's sake. There's no way I was going to take advantage of an idol of that caliber. I left the bedside and collapsed down on my sofa. What a day. Time to finally get some sleep. Oh boy, Aki's so precious! What is this? Oh, I'm about to say, well, where am I? I love her so much. She's so precious. She's such a kind girl. God damn it. She works so hard. And like I said, it's just that factor of feeling bad because she was forced into this thing well before, like, her age. Like, she's been doing this for so long when she should have been living like a normal girl, but damn, like, I didn't think I'd like Aki. Like, I didn't think I'd like her at all, but Jesus Christ, she shot so far up the tier list. She's so goddamn precious, and her route is so nice so far, in a sense. Like, it wasn't like Julie's, which had me pissed off in the beginning because she was being a bitch, but no, Aki's is just really good. Once getting to know her better, she turned the switch. She's really nice, and she's pure. She's not shit lowly. She's pure lowly. God damn it. Shiro hair spun around her as she flew through her routine. Even without music, her body swayed and pounded to the beat. Her very body was the song itself. Who knew what time it was? All Shiro knew was that she would out-practice all of her rivals. They were nothing, merely worms writhing in the mud compared to her. She twirled in the air as she jumped, her arms outstretched like a pair of silver wings. Her body was supposed to hurt? Was it supposed to ache? She had long transcended the limitations of the human mind. In times of peril, the body gained the ability to perform impossible feats. A mother could become as strong as a lioness if her child was in danger. Men suddenly became beasts if their backs were put against the wall. In fact, people were always that strong, but their pretty little minds put limiters on their abilities. They imagined pain. They didn't want to stand out. They didn't want to increase others' expectations of them. They were afraid they would break themselves. They accepted mediocrity, the routine, the regular. And once those mental blocks were ignored, Shiro bared her teeth as she finished her routine and raised her hands high, her fingers and toes extended to their maximum. But her teeth were not gritted with extortion. A brilliant her face changed so I started talking as her. God damn it. A brilliant snow white smile radiated from her face. Everything about that smile confirmed one fact. She had triumphed. Like a goddess of victory, she ascended from the heavens to grace mortals with her immaculate presence. Fucking hell. Shiro entered the change room. By now, morning was already almost here. No matter, Golden Calf officers came equipped with the living accommodations for this very purpose. Luxurious beds, kitchens with food, the best food in the country, a fully functional spa, everything that a girl could dream of. Indeed, the company encouraged talents to never leave their place. For what better way was there for the corporation to keep constant vigil over their assets? Not that Shiro minded it at all. I'm about to say we're gonna see Shiro naked, and here we go. Hell yeah! God damn it! She pulled her training jersey off and headed to the shower room, only to be surprised when she saw another member drying herself off with a towel. Oh, Kaori, hi. Senpai. Kaori immediately bowed down. Good morning, Shiro-senpai. Shiro put her kohai at ease and smiled. My, I didn't expect to see little Kaori here. What are you doing up this late? I was doing a bit of self-practice in my room. Really? Yes. Lately, I feel like I haven't been taking this seriously enough. Though I was happy with just smiling and giving good vibes to my fans, but all this time I've been holding everything back, haven't I? I took Quasar's popularity for granted. I thought all I had to do was just smile and we could always be number one. But you know, all this time, Quasar's being held up by strong, hard-working people like Kimidro-san and Shiro-senpai. That's why I'm going to take this seriously from now on. I want to be able to call myself a Quasar from now on with no regrets, with my back straight and my eyes forward. Shiro looked on in surprise. Kaori-chan's gotten big, hasn't she? She walked up to Kaori and put her hands on her shoulders. Shiro's aura was suffocating. She towered over Kaori like a looming shadow. You're right. Keep doing your very best. No, surpass even that and accomplish things not even you thought you can do. If you keep thinking that, then you too could very well become the center. The center position? No. Shiro leaned into Kaori's ear. But you are thinking it. Shiro suddenly broke into laughter, breaking the tense atmosphere. It's alright. It's only natural for a Quasar to be thinking of reaching the top. Despite that, let's all be sisters before rivals. Of course. Shiro's eyes looked down and gazed over Kaori's body. A fresh pretty girl like you would do very well, you know. Shiro-senpai? Very well. Kaori suddenly felt discomfort roil over her. What was this strange sensation? It was like the feeling of a man leering at her. Oh! A young maiden's body really is the best, isn't it? So firm, yet soft. Oh, so soft and luscious, and all the right spots. Oh! Kaori-chan, you make One-san's heart tremble. Shiro smiled and stepped away. Once you're my age, you'll miss it. Being an idol is really tough for an old lady like me. No! Shiro-senpai is so much more beautiful than I'll ever be. Besides, I've got a body like a stick figure, while Shiro-senpai is like a foreign supermodel. Anyways, I'll do my very best. Thank you for your time, senpai. I'll be getting back to my room now. Alright, have a good night's sleep. Of course. With that, Kaori shuffled away. So it was just envy. For a minute, it felt like Shiro-senpai was... No. There's no way that could ever be. You really got your head in the clouds, Kaori-chan. Go back to bed, Kaori-chan. You're exhausted, Kaori-chan. Shiro chuckled to herself as she peered out of the shower room and saw Kaori get dressed in a daze and scurry out of the room. What a cute little thing. But she'll never become the center. Not while I'm the center. The next morning, I awoke to a muffled sound of Aki's voice in the other room. Don't worry. It's alright. Reducer's taking good care of me. There's nothing to worry about. I'm fine. I see. Really? What about your work? Is that really alright? Oh, I guess she's on the phone? I thought she was like sleeping. Like sleep talking. Alright, then I'll see you. I'll see you. Rocky walked out of the bedroom. Sorry, did I wake you up? Don't worry, it's about time I got moving anyways. Was that your mom just now? Yeah. Looks like I've done it now. Was she angry? Not at all, but she does want to see me for breakfast. I see. I'll go with you. I'll take full responsibility to explain what happened to your mother properly. Any mother would be upset if their daughter spent the night with her producer. Looks like I've caused your mom an unbelievable amount of worry. It's not like I'm still a child. Exactly, she's technically an adult. I mean, she's not 21, but she's 18, so she's an adult, technically. Even though you're legally emancipated now, you're still young. Anyways, get washed up. Let's go see your mom together and clear this misunderstanding up. Alright. About an hour later, the two of us met Miss Kashiwagi at a nearby bakery cafe. By the time we arrived, she was already waiting for us. She waited at us before we sat down at her table. Aki, you're unbelievable, aren't you, imposing upon your producer like that? I'm sorry you have to deal with this daughter of mine, Producer-san. Thank you so much for looking after her. No. Moreover, it's I who should be apologizing here. Kashiwagi-san, in a moment of foolishness, I allowed your daughter to rest over at my apartment after she stayed late practicing after hours. I beg for your forgiveness for this grave breach of protocol, and promise that Shining Productions will return your daughter to you after hours from now without fail. Oh, no. Aki really does need to practice, doesn't she? She can stay as late as she needs to. In fact, I came out here to speak to you just about that. Wait. Speak to you about just that. Producer-san, what do you think of Aki here? She certainly has proven herself worthy of being a center of Starnova. This past year, the unit has seen unbelievable growth, in a large part thanks to Aki-chan's single-minded devotion to the unit. Further, due to her young age, she may still be nowhere near the peak of her power. Meaning she may truly be an industry mover once she enters the height of her career in her early 20s. If she continues her habit of performing above expectations for the company, then her prospects will only get better from here on out. Speaking on a personal level, I'm optimistic for Aki-chan's future. I see. Miss Kashiwagi leaned forward and suddenly enveloped my hand with hers. Then you will take care of Aki, won't you? Of course. You'll make her into a star, won't you? That is our goal, yes. I'm so glad to see that Aki's producer is such a hard-working man. It must be difficult being so young yourself. Thank you. However, I'm not sure if I'm at an age at which I can claim to be young for much longer. Aki, isn't your producer such a handsome man? Thank you very much. Then must you two get going? It is so. I would hate to take too much of your time as well. Miss Kashiwagi looked into her cell, apparently looking like she was in a rush. It sounded from Aki's conversation earlier that her mother had to head to work. Considering it was still a weekday, I wasn't surprised she didn't have very long to speak to us. In any matter, it looked like Aki was right, and Miss Kashiwagi wasn't angry with me for keeping her daughter overnight. Despite having dodged an angry parent, somewhat felt wrong. Under normal circumstances, wouldn't a parent at least show some concern if her daughter had spent the night with a man much older than her, especially if that man was her direct superior at work? Indeed, Miss Kashiwagi came off as a particularly overbearing parent, hovering over Aki like she was the one producing her daughter. We left the table, but not before Miss Kashiwagi looked me in the eye as we were standing up. She smirked at me while Aki's attention was diverted, as if to tell me, I know what you did to my daughter. Oh, I didn't do nothing to your daughter. What do you mean? I'm a good boy. I didn't do nothing. Aki looked at me as we left the cafe. Something the matter? Nothing. Anyways, did you pick up some bread before you left? We should get back to the office. Yeah. Alright. I got in my car and headed to the office. I lost myself in my thoughts. The interactions I kept seeing between Aki and her mother couldn't help but bother me. And the way she acted towards me. I hated to talk poorly about my talented mother, but everything about her personality seemed so fake. I wonder why. Maybe because it is? Maybe because when you first saw her and she was pissed, but then when she saw you, her expression immediately changed? Like, you didn't pick up on... What was that? No, you didn't? Okay, producer-san. Hey, Aki. Huh? I've only seen your mother, around. Is your father away on business? Oh, No, my parents divorced a long time ago. I hardly ever see Papa anymore. I don't think he really likes us. Really. But it's alright because I still have my mama. I see. Sorry for bringing something heavy like that up then. Don't mind it. Anyways, you're my beloved producer. I don't mind talking about stuff like that with you. I see. Despite wanting to ask more about Aki's family, she turned away from me and stared out the window. It was only natural. Even though Aki wanted to keep her appearances with me, her family affairs were a deeply private matter. Just from the glimpse I could catch of her home life, I could feel something incredibly off. From her missing father to her superficial loving mother. But I couldn't think of those matters for too long. The office wasn't far away, so we arrived for work in short order. Now, I better head off for today's jobs. Okay, are you going to be alright? Just who do you think I am? This level of work is completely routine. Alright, I've got more prep work for our Budokan Live to do, so I'll be stuck in the office all day. I'll see you, producer. Yeah, good luck. Well, we'll save that for next time. That music says, that music is a Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you like this, hit the thumbs up button and save it to your favorites. This is what I was going to say. Favorites, and share it with your friends to make Conixis. You can follow me on Twitter. The link's in the description below. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.